Oh, yes.
And then Michelle Cook with Divest. I can message her right now and ask which one for sure.
Yes, but We Can International, right? They've got all the lists of that. So that's one easy way. And also, Standing Rock was successful in all of the things that it did and all of the movements that it's inspired since, because people shared things on social media. Without that, I wouldn't have gone out, and I don't think that anyone would have listened. And so when you see videos, when you see posts, go ahead and share those. It really does make a difference.
Thank you. The next question is that water is a basic human right, and yet millions of people refuse to stand with the water protectors. Why is that acceptable to the communities down the river?
It's not. It's not acceptable, but it's been happening for hundreds of years in the United States, and will continue to happen, I believe, until white people start standing up and saying enough is enough. Sadly, people in power don't listen to the people that they should. And I think it's going to take people who have any sort of voice and any sort of power. And let's face it, if we're white in the United States, we have a voice, at least somewhat of a voice. And we owe it to our brothers and sisters who do not have a voice to speak up and speak out and just say enough is enough.
The next question is if we could get an update on DAPL.
Wash, do you want to take that? I should also mention that it's Wash Daly's birthday today, and she's recovering from COVID. And so she's trying to save her voice, but some of these are best answered by her.
The DC Circuit Court recently ruled that the Army Corps of Engineers is going to have to do an environmental impact statement, which is what initially the tribe had asked for years ago. So that's going to be completed. In the meantime, they refused to follow. I mean, the recommendation by the tribe was that the pipeline be shut down in the meantime, and they didn't go along with that. So that's as far as I know right now.
Thank you.
So just to confirm, they did not shut the pipeline down. Sorry, I just wanted to confirm that the Biden administration has not shut the pipeline down.
They have not.
Thanks.
Christina has a question about oil currently flowing through that area. Is that true?
It is. And the pipeline leaked 3 times in the first 5 days of operation. And that's before it was at fully operational levels. And as was mentioned in the film, it's just a matter of time until there are serious leaks.
It's a question from Sabra. It's quite long. It's about they'd seen photos of a woman whose arm was shot up on Facebook, and they were surprised she wasn't in the film. She's wondering if that woman's arm healed or if she's okay, and also that there was a pregnant woman attacked by dogs. Was that right? One woman was in jail for a long time, and she referred to them as possibly red deer or red fawn. She heard about rapes in the camp and threats of rape by the DAPL mercs. I heard that they sprayed chemicals in helicopters and that many have a rare cancer now. Please tell us more about these things.
I think a good resource for that specifically, that group of questions is really good for like the Water Protector Legal Collective, because they will like know Me personally living at camp, I'm not aware of any rapes that happened. My cousin Red Fawn, Janice, she just got released after almost 5 years in federal prison. In the movie, you see on October 27th, the police are tackling her, and she has been incarcerated since that day in 2016 until last September, um, released to a halfway house in Bismarck. Sophia Wolanski, the young woman that you spoke about from New York City, whose arm was severely damaged, and I know that she lost use of it, but her father works for um, a, a pretty big law firm in New York City, and there's currently civil litigation in regard to her.
And as for the chemicals, we heard numerous reports of that. And there are a lot of people who are sick, and that's something that's being investigated right now. And as for the rapes, I did not hear of rapes, but I did speak with a number of water protectors who talked about sexual assault. And one of our main characters actually faced some assault on the front line where her breasts were grabbed and some awful things were said to her. Not everyone wants their stories to come out, and so we have to respect that. But there were assaults.
The next question is from Halima. Where can more people watch your film, Shannon, who weren't here tonight?
So right now we've just started our film festival rounds. So we're going to be next up, I think, is Milwaukee Film Festival. And I think we're on next week or about a week and a half from now, going to be with them for a week, Athena Film Festival, and a number of other festivals that are coming up. And we have interest from a number of foreign broadcasters, and we're talking with them right now about getting it on television in Europe, and also one major Asian broadcaster. And we have yet to have any interest out of the United States beyond people saying, this is a beautiful film, it's so important, it needs to be seen, and it's not quite right for us. You know, advertising rules, the streamers, they rule television, and we hope someone will be brave enough to take on this film in the United States, because this is the most important place for this film to be viewed.
This next question is for Washdewi. Washde, do you see your daughter carrying on your tradition of speaking for the future of children?
I think that I hope that all four of my children, being at such a young, impressionable age, and being out there at the camp and seeing the work being put in and seeing the things that happened, I think that has profoundly affected them, and not always for the good, but you know, it's very similar to how my parents raised us, and it's just being, you know, rooted in who you are and your connection to, you know, things all around us, that the energy. So I think that everybody is capable of that, but the youth are certainly the messengers in this, you know, this new day, you know, post-Trump, hopefully.
Another question from Halima about how divestment of funds from banks support who support fossil fuels help the cause.
You're not For example, a lot of European financial institutions fund projects throughout the world and in the United States in poor communities of color, Indian reservations. They try specifically to target these, but the banks, the financial institutions that give them loans have a rating system, and they rate these companies. And what we have been trying to do is also meet with those rating companies and saying, like, it's a huge liability, climate change is real. Like right now, it's urgent that this be addressed. So, I mean, it's just, it's another way to, not avenue to attack these issues.
There's a follow-up question of the list of bank names that people should be boycotting.
Definitely Wells Fargo and Credit Suisse. But there are many banks that are funding fossil fuel projects around the world.
Bank of America, US Bank, Wells Fargo are three of the biggest ones in the United States. And so people say, okay, then where can we bank? In general, going with a savings and loan in your community is a much better bet. And it's great to bring these questions forward to executives at your own local branch, because they do have to bring that forward. And if you're expressing a concern about the types of projects that are being invested in, eventually when enough people complain and enough people leave banks and tell their bankers that that is the reason why, eventually, it'll be heard.
A question from Tara about Biden having the power to shut down DAPL. Is that true?
I think that there are a couple avenues for his administration to do that. And one of them would be an executive order, similar to what Trump did when he issued the executive memoranda shutting down, or actually, restarting all of them. And so KXL and DAPL. So it could be done administratively, as the court system allowed, mandated in EIS now after, since 2014, the tribe was asking for one environmental impact statement. So I think that shows that the tribe was always administratively doing the steps, the process laid out. And so it's hard because it seems like we're getting shut down at so many levels, but it's surprising when administrations change.
It seems like that's all of the questions I see here in the chat and in the Q&A for now, but there are a lot of happy birthday wishes in here for you, Washday, and lots of support. Tara just asked if how people can get more involved in the cause and support ongoing work.
We have a very active Facebook page of about 51,000 people who just organically came. It's a lot for a film, and we're very proud of that. And we're constantly posting updates and ways for people to become involved. We would love if all of you would give us a like, because people notice that too. I've heard that a number of times from people who do not want our film to see the light of day. And numbers matter. And our Facebook page is End of the Line Film is the name of it.
we'll post that on our website as well. We'll try and get all this information up on the Zero to Fierce website so that people can come back to that website if they have forgotten things in the interim between the night right now and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I just want to thank you both for joining us here, for our opportunity to see the resilience and joy of women and activism and standing in their truth and their everything. It's quite inspiring, and I can't even think of the word that it just is. The resilience of women, the women in this movement, and the women, the Lakota women and Native women in this country and in North America is astounding. And I am, in awe is the wrong thing to say, but it's in that milieu of that strength, in that resiliency, that we can all learn such huge lessons from that, in resiliency and standing in our truth. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the film with us. Thank you for taking my email from out of the blue saying, hey, I think this would be great to show in our community. And anyway, in any small way that I can help get this film out into the world, even bringing it back to our community and getting some funds rolling towards you producing it, I am 197% of 197 in for it. And thank you so much for your bravery and your resilience. And I hope, I wish you all the best in your healing. Washtewi, take care of yourself. We need you. Rest. We need you. So thank you. And thank you, Shannon, for all your work in bringing this forward. It was a very moving evening. And everybody pick up a North Coast Journal and read about the Klamath River and the undamming of the Klamath, and take time to look at what's going on locally for us, because it is also important. So thank you. There are so many chats coming in, so many things. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for sharing this film. Happy birthday. Thank you. So moving. Thanks so much. Thank you. You're so strong. You make us all stronger with your inspiration. So be well. We'll talk again.
Thank you, and thank all of you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you
We'll
so
see.
much, everybody.
Yes.
We will save the chat so we can send it to our wonderful guests.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. We'll start all over again. Day 2 of day 7. So we'll see you at Dan's Urbano at 10. Thank you.